Confederate charge! Welcome back to Frederick, and the battle continues. We've had so much occur in this fight, namely a tremendous amount of unnecessary movement by our men as we tried to locate the Federal forces. But, that being said, we're now ready to get down to business. We've broken the first Federal unit actually coming up the road, and now we've got a bunch of them trying to get up on this hill, and from what I can see, trying to get that uphill advantage on us. The problem is, with all the movement we've done in this fight, man, our men are tired, and I mean absurdly tired. So we're going to do everything we can to minimize movement on our end, and really maximize firepower on the enemy. I love what you're doing here, Longstreet, but I need you firing at those guys right there, 8th Brigade. We've got a lot of detached skirmishers, and in these wooded settings, I think they work especially well. So let's get up there with them skirmishers now. And again, we want Bonham set up in a better location. I am still sending Jones and a few other men down the road to see if we can spot any Federals. In fact, I don't think I've detached skirmishers here. Let's detach some skirmishers. Yeah, baby! We'll take Jones' men and just look for enemies. Even if we can fire at these guys moving up the hill, that's what I'll do. But ideally, I want to hit them as they're moving up the hill. That's the idea here. So let's push forward. Love seeing that skirmisher line, and it looks like Longstreet's going to be in battle fairly soon. This is not Longstreet's first fight in this battle, so the men are definitely battle-hardened. Overall, though, their commander is there. They're supported by their commander. They are tired. That's about it. So we just can't go for any charges, and obviously a little damage to morale overall. But what we need to do now is hold our position and just keep the enemy back, pretty much. So let's push him up there. We'll get him to the skirmisher line. Got reinforcements on the way to help him in the form of Bonham. And look at that, we've got some artillery. Oh man, I'm so happy, guys. I couldn't be happier. I did not expect, I'll be honest, I did not expect Sibley to arrive so damn quickly. But he did, man. He arrived very quickly, and he's ready to help us out. This is just magnificent. Now we've got a real battle on our hands, boys. And we have arrived in earnest. Man, that's what I'm talking about, a proper battle. And look at that. Is that 7th Brigade under Evans? It is, guys. Our red shirts. These are, of course, our native red shirts being led by Evans. And what an amazing unit. It looks like we also got here with skirmishers and we're targeting the enemy artillery. Don't mind if I do. I think, however, I will take Jones' Brigade and see if we can target the enemy infantry here. That means stepping into the enemy position, though. So let's actually just halt. I don't want him moving that far. But I don't mind the enemy artillery getting tagged here by our men. Although I think hitting 1st Brigade may be more useful to us. Let's find out a little bit later. Right now, I'm just redrawing that line. All the generals over here commiserating about the situation. Here we go. We can start picking targets. Fire at 8th. Fire at 8th Brigade. Yep, Sibley is in contact. He certainly is, and as you can see, the Federals continue to move up that hill. So my main concern is they already have men up there. If they attack downwards onto all these winded units from up in that location, we're in real trouble. So let's actually get Ewell just to watch the north there. Of course, I'm going to continue the overall fights here, the overall gunfire. I just hope we didn't make a mistake, honestly, coming this far north. To take Frederick, Maryland. I'm not sure this was necessarily the right option, considering they've got armies to throw at us here. But it was recommended that, you know, much like, I guess, the Germans attacking the Soviet Union, the only real way for us to win this conflict is to remain on a constant offensive, to constantly be harassing the Federals. And it kind of makes sense, because, of course, there are a lot of Federals, a lot more Federals than there are Confederates. So here we go. I'm going to start targeting them with skirmishers as well. 8th Brigade. Let's see how they're doing here. Jones ain't doing much. So I might push him up just to start targeting the artillery. As long as we remain on this side of the river, I say that's the correct call. I'm amazed, though, that we are still on the minor defeat tract. I don't think the enemy's taken any locations. No, they haven't. But, as you can see, Lawrence is over here, and he can spot the army. They've got even men back here. So obviously, pretty scary situation. I'm going to move Loring back. But there are Federals all over the place. And I'm not sure how many men in between there and here they've got. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Don't let them get up there on that hill now. Yeah, they got an HQ up there, man. That's a cause for concern. You never want to be fighting uphill here. At least it's getting fairly late. So if they do have an uphill advantage, we'll have time to probably restructure this army. I want to fire now. That's a flank shot. I mean, just let us get that shot, and that is a flank shot. I'm actually going to halt them. Make sure that our artillery is targeting them. I think they are already, though. And let's bring... Why is 7th Brigade moving that far? We'll halt 7th Brigade, and we'll have them watch any men approaching here. 7th Brigade has a history of combat, so I do trust them in this situation. What I will also do is move the skirmishers over here and start targeting 1st Brigade. And since we're on this side of the river, we can actually get right there on the coast and just fire at the enemy, which I think is lovely. Absolutely lovely. There you go, 7th Brigade. Now you can start fighting 1st Brigade. And it looks like Ewell already has the idea. His men are already starting to load those muskets and prepare for combat. But I think we need to move up with even more men. Let's halt him. A lot of these guys going on to crazy locations. And let's move 1st Brigade in over here with Bonham. This way we'll have 2 units heading towards the enemy. There we go. Artillery has begun. I love it, boys. I absolutely love it. But I really want Jones' detachment to keep firing over here. Nope, he seems to be focused on Sumner's detachment, and you know what? That's okay. If it means knocking out a few skirmishers to win the fight, then so be it. Unfortunately, 3rd Brigade there is nervous, and I have to say, they're taking serious artillery fire, number 1, but more importantly, they are fatigued. Now, luckily, we broke Sumner's detachment, but I think we're going to be broken next. I'm going to put all fire on that artillery battalion, and that includes our skirmishers here. It also looks like Cheatham may be getting into contact pretty soon. How we doing over here, boys? How we doing? Now, come on, 2nd Brigade. Federals trying to move through the woods to our north. We can't have that, guys. I don't think he has enough men for skirmishers, frankly. But at this distance, at this range, we should be able to send that unit packing. How did you guys not reload before the fight? There we go, guys. Look at that enemy already running. Not bad, man. For a unit that is nearly fractured, not bad at all. Let's focus just on their infantry now. 3rd Brigade there. But overall, even if Jones ends up breaking, I think he accomplished his task, man. Absolutely accomplished his task. Now we need to try to stop the enemy from accomplishing their task and flanking us here on the right side. And they, even with 1 unit, they can do it. 8th Brigade here, but they've already got 661 losses. So these are, I mean, the enemy is throwing the kitchen sink at us with this unit, because typically at 500 losses, a unit, unless they are led by an amazing commander, is unwilling to continue fighting. Not bad, boys. Not bad. Keep it up. My main focus is on 8th Brigade right there. Keep it going, man. We don't call this the Battle of the Wilderness for nothing. And there we go, guys. We broke them. 8th Brigade is broken. Just to be certain, though, I want to check. I'm sending Ewell over here. Did we already detach skirmishers from Ewell? No, we didn't. We'll send Ewell skirmishers as well, just to make sure there's no additional enemies here. And you bet I am firing at the fleeing troops here. They've caused so much damage to our army. So much utter madness, period, that I'm going to do that. I'm also going to push Bonham forward. And now it's starting to look like a minor victory. The tides have turned a little bit, my friends. Always like to see that. Getting this flanking shot into 1st Brigade. Hopefully they'll be breaking soon as well. And I can't believe it, but 3rd Brigade held this entire time, even far away from their core commander. Which I believe in this case to be... It's not Walker, it's actually Bureagard. He's directly under Bureagard. Look at all them blue bellies. Look at all them blue bellies. And the skirmishers are still firing into 1st Brigade here. 405 losses, man. That's not easy to come back from. You know what? We're going to use the enemy's own tactics. Let's try and get some skirmishers over here and fire down at the enemy flank. Now, don't worry about those ammunition readiness messages. This is because, of course, when we detach skirmishers, they run out of ammunition a lot faster than the main body of troops. Man, I love this fight. I just want to make sure we are not being flanked. Let's see if that cavalry... Is he still around? He is! Lorenz is still around, although he finally was pretty much shattered. But he's still keeping an eye on this area, and we can see if they're going to push down into the... What's this area called? Into the Hoyle Farm area. So we're pretty aware of their movement with that cavalry, keeping an eye and scouting the enemy. All right, let's actually bring this over here to fight 3rd Brigade. Now that they've got some additional men walking up the road, they are prepared to fight. But I'm almost certain that this battle is going to go into a 2nd day. I think it would be insane not to. What I am going to do... Nope, cancel that. What I am going to do is take the artillery and just switch over here to 3rd Brigade. Also take 6th and push them forward as well. Jubilee Early. Early, I should say. This is actually my favorite Confederate officer overall, so it's good to see him. And with Longstreet, I mean, he started this fight. Let's have him finish it. We might even go for a charge pretty soon here, guys. It is feeling like charge time. Here we go. 1st Brigade on the run. 1st Brigade on the run. And now I'm going to target 3rd Brigade with the artillery. Got some beautiful 12-pound howitzers that want to say hello. I mean, I'm loving it, guys. It's looking a lot more like a minor victory now. Look at all those Federals. Initially, I wasn't sure that we would come out with anything here, but now I'm feeling a little more confident. Nonetheless, keep firing. Keep it up. Keep it up. Don't stop now. However, with the Longstreet skirmishers, we shall push forward over here. Also, with Ewell skirmishers. And with Ewell's men overall, we might as well advance. But as you can see, the guys are tired. We almost need the day to end just to give these guys some time to rest. And as you can see, I'm just advancing like on the left side and the right side of the canal. The whole idea being to trap those guys here. To completely trap them. It's a really half-hearted volley there. The guys are getting fed up. Unfortunately, of course, Jones's men, as amazing as they've been, they are wavering. So that makes sense. But now, giving some shots. Look at all those Federals down on the road, man. I like to call this a very successful ambush, assuming they don't have any armies waiting for us. We know for sure they still have cannons over in this location. So who knows how big that army is. But there we go. That is the end of the day. Fighting ceases. During night, our army was resupplied, of course. And now, of course, redeploying for the battle. We hit play when we want this to be prepared, but we'll take Sibley. Hold on. Take Sibley. Boom. Like, I pretty much like the rest of the units and how they're set up. Take Walker. Maybe we should keep one of the units back here. I wonder. We've got Walker, Sibley. There is another corps commander. Those are not the only ones. And let's have Loring just keep an eye on the enemy. Okay, so we can't actually move outside of this area. That makes sense. That makes sense. So we'll keep Loring over here on our flank. Pretty much just extending our line as we see fit. Let's hope this was the appropriate setup, guys, and let's get started on the next day of fighting. Here we go. Sure enough, the battle begins almost right away. Look at that. Instantly. And a bunch of them are actually still retreating, so let's fire, boys. This is like it's like fish in a barrel here. Let's see if we can't shatter the enemy army immediately. Now, while we're at it, we might as well also prepare for a cavalry charge. So we'll send Loring up here. He can hopefully regain that glory. Because remember in the last fight, he actually lost a lot of respect. He just didn't perform the way the commanders wanted. I thought he performed wonderfully, but that's just me. Let's get just a full volley here from Bonham, man. They will not return to this fight. Actually, we'll try to get the shot on 3rd Brigade so that we actually hit a unit still in the fight. Do the same with 7th here. Try to focus on 3rd. If I wasn't crazy, I would think that they're trying to get back to the bridge, and we can't have that happening. So let's engage 4th Brigade over here as these guys try to flee like the cowards they are and get back to the bridge. I want every single gun firing on them. But at the same time, I also want to move forward with Jackson's brigade, and look at this, guys. Look at this. First chance for a charge. Oh, you know what? I've hit Alt. There we go. There we go. Jackson's brigade charging, folks. Might be a bit early for a charge. Let's hope not. No, they're intact. They're in good physical shape. Those cavalry can make it happen. Come on, boys. This is gonna be glorious, boys, as long as everything works out. I'm also gonna take 5th, and I'm gonna charge across with them, too. Charge, boys! Now, I would not recommend anybody else try to charge across a body of water like this. This is not World War II, and we're not doing a beach landing. Nonetheless, I am gonna send in Evans' men as well. This is what we call a good old rebel charge. I want to finish the enemy once and for all. There we go, man. Got a proper fight on our hands now. And we've broken him. 3rd Brigade is broken. Jackson can continue, and he shall. There we go, guys. The enemy is retreating. I am not giving up. I am continuing to attack with Jackson, man. This fight shall go on until the battle is completely over. I'm not leaving until we have a massive amount of enemy casualties. They're going to have to force us off this battlefield just by time alone. There's no way we're leaving, and I'm going to continue charging. Although, once again, damn it, Jackson. I think we charged too much because he's falling back. Nonetheless, we've got a 6th Brigade going in. Should be able to fix this situation pretty quickly. And look at that. We can even charge with Loring. Loring is the one that needed his respect back. Hopefully he can get here before the end of the fight. That's okay, Jackson. We all know that you did a good job. We all know you did a good job. And it looks like he's reformed. Or gonna reform. But we've got that additional cavalry on the way. We'll stop here. Just open fire. They don't want to fight. Here we go, guys. Moment of truth. Although I think that cavalry is going to be tired because Loring is moving just over a damn long span of territory, number 1, and he's got to cross that river. Can't be easy for the men. More like a canal. Here we go. Loring, come on, regain your glory, sir. Regain your southern glory. There we go. We are going to succeed with the charge. The infantry are going to make it there and manage to break the enemy, guys. Look at that. That's what I wanted to see. In fact, we'll even take 7th here in charge. But those Federals are completely overrun. The question is, did we take any of them prisoner, or can we take any of them prisoner? And maybe the answer to that is simply no. It is yes! 3rd Brigade whipped out. The enemy brigade under Brigadier General Sumner was thoroughly whipped out by my unit, with 591 men having been captured. Guys, we took our first Union prisoners. It's only 591 men, but how awesome is that, man? Our first group of prisoners. Still going to be just a minor victory because we're not getting up to the 17,000 number that I so wanted to get to, but this is a good start. I think it's a pretty good start. Get them, son. Get them. Do not let them retreat. Want to try to take some more prisoners. Now, keep in mind, guys, this battle is going on in the north. We are in the north right now, facing the Federals. So I'm thinking that maybe after this, falling back and retreating might be our best option to try and restructure our army. The other option would be to just keep fighting, man, and trying to attack other Union forces, etc. I think it's way too dangerous. So 5,900 lost on the enemy side, 1,621 lost on our side. Definitely a minor victory. Just, you know, not great, not terrible. The enemy had more casualties, but all that movement left and right, man, tired our army out so damn much. Though I hope it's enough to greatly change the course of the war. And certainly Major General Robert Patterson's not looking too good. Look at that experience rise, guys, and the national morale drop by the enemy. Those are the kind of results that we're looking for. Well, my friends, a narrow victory at Frederick. Department of the Pennsylvania fleeing in panic. Support for the Yankee cause wavers. Why, of course it does. And I believe, like, just a few more seconds and Frederick, Maryland is ours, or maybe it's just instantly becomes ours. It does seem to be under our control. It's completely red, but I think until we capture it, let's see. Nope. It's definitely under our control. Wow, what an amazing fight, guys. But now, of course, we've got a lot of decisions to make. We've got the Army of the Occupation over here. We did have the Army of the Shenandoah. Are they still going? Yeah. We had Joseph E. Johnston heading over here to Cumberland, but I don't know if he's going to get back in time. I think we actually have to order him back because the guy is just not going to be ready for any sort of a fight. So let's bring him back. We'll keep the Army of the Potomac right here, hopefully in the right position, of course. See, the whole road to Richmond is open, and I don't know how I feel about that. That's got me a little nervous, to say the least. So what I might do, after you guys give some advice in the comments, is I might simply fall back to Winchester, and then, of course, fall back over here. Try and maybe even get to Alexandria, Virginia, and take that. But the point being, I think we need to get back to Richmond. This is a little dangerous. So let's grab Bureagard. No, I don't want to go that way. Definitely don't want to go that way. Let's grab Bureagard. Head down to Winchester. Could probably get there by rail even faster. And then we're heading east. I think that's the next approach. There's just no way we can stick around here because we're leaving the road to Richmond, Virginia open. And that, of course, is dangerous. Better we take this location and take the fight to the enemy than the other way around, of course. The Confederacy passes the Regulars Act. We finally managed to pass that Regulars Act with our industrial focus. Pretty nice. More regulars recruited. 15,000 troops authorized. So we're going to be getting some regulars, much better trained, by the way, than the volunteers we've been using. But again, let's see what the Department of the Pennsylvania does here. My fear is that they immediately engage other armies. And we've actually got another battle, this one in Missouri, I believe. Our Army of the Mississippi against enemy reinforcements, state guards, a bunch of different things. Anyway, guys, we're going to be getting to that fight next. I hope you'll join us in that episode. Thank you so much for stopping by.